I remember my husband was crying, and I said, "Did I do it? I'm a mom now." And he says, "You don't hear him," and then all I hear is ah, ah. So that was Zeke, and then they brought him around the corner, and I remember saying, "That's a big boy. He's a big baby." And I thought, "Oh my gosh, he's so cute." And then they whisked him away. If I can be honest, I was really sad. I wanted, the golden moment everyone talks about, and I didn't have mine. I was already seeing a high risk doctor because I have high blood pressure. And so they did a check on Zeke. I wasn't at Hopkins yet, but a doctor came in and she said, "We're going to have someone from Hopkins come in and just take a look. We see some things, but we're not sure exactly what we see, but we'll have someone from Hopkins come over."
And what happens in hypoplastic left heart syndrome is the left ventricle, which is normally the biggest pumping chamber of the heart, doesn't form. It doesn't form early as the baby's heart's developing early in the first trimester, but there's no way to have it form later or grow later. So Zeke, instead of having 4 chambers with 2 big ventricles, 2 big pumping chambers, really has 3 chambers in his heart, with his left atrium being small and his left ventricle not being there at all. And so he's only got 1 ventricle, 1 pumping chamber.
Mommy gotcha. I'm not gonna let go of your hand. I promise I won't. I promise I won't.
Now I have 2 people to think about. I spent the first 2.5 weeks being right beside his side 24/7. Anytime somebody came in, I asked if I could assist in what they were doing, just to kind of get an idea of it. And then finally, he got to a point where he was doing a little better on his own. He was still in NICU, but he was no longer, like, his chest was no longer open. Like, he had the surgery and he was recovering well. We had so many wonderful nurses that just showed him so much care. One of the main lines I heard a lot when we first got down there was that they were a family and that they intended to treat Zeke as he was their own. And I can't say that we had a nurse that didn't display that type of goal. They prepared us, taught us how to give medications, how to feed with the G-tube. So I'll say the whole team in general did an amazing job of kind of just preparing us for what life was at home, so that when we finally did get to go home after the first surgery, a lot of things was just kind of reviewed for us.
For his birthday and heartiversary, we had his grandparents and his godmother come out, and we did a photo shoot. The theme was boxing. So he had a boxing ring in the background. He had boxing gloves that said his name. The family nickname for him is Champ. So whenever he shows up to the event, everybody says, "The champ is here, the champ is here."
Before hearing Zeke's diagnosis, I had never heard the term HLHS before. One of the biggest things for me was learning how big the community is, again, for HLHS, and knowing and realizing after a while it does get easier.
Through this journey, I think I've had a golden moment at least once a week ever since he was born. I always have a golden moment. The first time I got to touch him, the first time I was able to kiss him, the first time I was able to hold him, first time coming home, just really big moments.
To sit back and watch these little ones that we have kind of conquer things that us as adults could never even think or imagine of going through is amazing.